Now to the controversy at Michigan State University over what a professor said about Republicans on the first day of class. A student recorded about 9 minutes of William Penn's opening lecture where he said Republicans have raped this country, and he also took shots at Mitt Romney. Take a listen.
Be forewarned, I'm eccentric. I hate bureaucracy. I will say what I think. I know we mean to offend you. If I do, I said it, come up, tell me, I will apologize. And I absolutely don't mean to offend you. Even if you are a Republican, I don't mean to offend you in this class. Outside of class is a different matter.
Now, this was posted online by Campus Reform, which is a conservative group. And on Thursday, Penn was yanked from teaching for the rest of the semester. So, was this the right move? I did watch all 9 minutes of this recording. You can find it online. We'll put it up at MiWeek.org. And it reminded me, it just took me right back because I went to Michigan State. This is a humanities class that everybody has to take. It's one of those general requirements of sitting the first day of class when you're sizing up the teacher, wondering what the expectations are and what you're going to get out of it and kind of what you have to do to get a good grade in this class.
Well, I mean, these campuses, Michigan State included, make a big deal about making everyone feel comfortable. Nobody targeted for their race or beliefs or color, whatever. And yet, if you were a conservative sitting there, if you were a Republican or your parents were sitting there, you have to listen to this. I mean, I'd just ask, what do you think would happen if this had been a conservative professor talking about black Democrats and their skin falling off and raping the country? This guy would have been on the road by now.
So are we surprised by this? I mean, you've said, hey, I've heard professors say all sorts of things.
Professors say all kinds of crazy things. They do. That's the nature of the academic environment. I object to the comparison here, though, between political beliefs and race or gender or sexual orientation. Those are not the same things.
This guy specifically said white Republicans. Well, he was talking race.
Okay, Steve. but it's not the same thing. First of all, white Republicans were never excluded from anything on college campuses. So I mean, the idea that somehow they're equally
they still shouldn't be made to feel uncomfortable in a class.
They should
This
not.
was a creative writing class. They shouldn't be subject to this guy's political beliefs.
What he was saying was absurd. But the idea that political beliefs don't belong in the classroom, I think, is also a little absurd. That's the whole point of college and the academic environment is to be able to exchange.
Or to be able to learn a bunch of different things to shape your beliefs.
At one point he says, if you're a closet racist, I'm coming after you. Well, I guess that's him to determine whether you're a closet racist. And oh, by the way, if you're a Republican, he said you're a closet racist. They shouldn't be made to feel like they have to salute his political beliefs in order to succeed in this class.
It did seem like an intimidating environment. Did Michigan State make the right call in moving the way they did?
Well, this guy didn't seem like a very good teacher. I think that's probably the reason he shouldn't be in the
teacher. They gave him all kinds of prizes
in the classroom. But should he have been taken out for the political beliefs he espoused there? No.
No, the threats and the intimidation, Steve.
Okay, well.
I mean, he created a hostile environment, and we know you can't have a hostile environment on the campus.
What I think is interesting is this was on the first day of class, that someone just felt the need to pull out, that we don't know who did, but felt the need to record him. Now, that would make me believe that he had possibly said a lot of stuff before in the past that triggered someone to say, hey, you ought to go to his class on the first day and record. You'll never know what he's going to say.
I think we need to know what's going on in these classrooms, and maybe if professors knew that this sort of nonsense was going to be made public, they'd stick to their subject. What the heck did this have to do with creative writing?
Well, so are you saying that this is happening in all classes in all college campuses around the country?
No, it happens in a number of classrooms, and I think we know that. We absolutely do. We've seen this sort of thing before. You have, Steve. Come on. This didn't shock you that this was going on.
No, it didn't, because, I mean, like I said, in college, professors, the debate in college classes, the college classes that I sat through at least, was always all over the map. And that's the idea, is that it should be a very honest and at times maybe even intense exchange of ideas, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Did you see this exchange of ideas in this 9 minutes? At one point,
no, I did not. He did ask if someone felt uncomfortable. Yeah,
a kid smirked and he jumped on this kid. Are you a Republican? Come on, this was intimidation, and you can't. These kids pay a lot of money to go to college. They don't pay a lot of money to be belittled and threatened and intimidated.
Oh, okay, well then that's the other part of it. I mean, this is also, it's a public university, so you've got, taxpayers who say, wait a minute, this is what I'm also paying for.
Yeah.
Well, one of the funny things here was this guy has made a reputation apparently as someone who attacks stereotypes and busts through stereotypes. It seemed like a pretty stereotypical rant to me.
It just took me way back. It took me back to sitting in a lecture hall going, oh, I've got to listen to this. Because you got to admit that not every college course you took was the best. I mean, there's something you just have to get through.
Garbage, but the academic environment is always like this, and I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I think this guy went over the line. And again, what was he doing? Why was he talking about this stuff in the middle of a creative writing course? That's the question. Why was this the place to bring that up, particularly on the first day?
Because when you're a tenured professor at an American university, you can talk about whatever you want.
Well, no, I think that was part of the problem, that he was setting the tone of what his classroom is, what he is as a teacher, and it was the wrong tone to kind of set.
What's it got to do with creative writing? And what sort of, if you're out there with somebody who doesn't share his beliefs, are you feeling like you have to pretend you do in your assignments and in your writing and what have you in order to get a good grade here?
Yeah, or just to get through. And so the university hasn't said if he's going to be coming back or he'll be teaching next semester.
Hard to get rid of tenure, it should be.
He'll be back.
He'll be reassigned. All right.